Hey guys, Brian here from NCL Vapor. This morning, here to talk to you about the Cyborg. It's a DNA 20 powered PV. There's already a few reviews out there. Rob Fluid Vapor on his website has posted Phil's review of the Cyborg. It's a great review. Anyway, so where can you get this and how much is it? It's $239 for the basic kit. Alright, and that's $249 if you want the full kit, which comes with the 2 extension rings. Alright, so with the basic kit you will get the Cyborg in 18350 mode, just like that. Top cap, bottom cap, main battery tube, and the control module. And then for the extra $10, you'll get the 2 extension rings, which puts it into 18490 or 18650 mode. Now, this is a fixed bottom cap, right? It was supposed to come with a bottom cap that you could, like twist, and then it would turn into a mechanical button, so you could put the top cap here and have a fully functional mechanical mod. That didn't happen. They're working on the button. They didn't like the design, and so that should be coming out shortly, I hope. And then they're also going to come up with new top caps. Alright, so you can have a flat top. Right now there's a slant on there. Look at how small that is. That'll be a small mechanical mod, guys, let me tell you. There's a wire next to that. That's pretty good. So when that comes out, I will be excited. Alright, so the diameter on this is a 23mm mod, alright, and its output is 7 to 20 watts, and the website says it's 93% battery efficient. I read before I got it that a lot of people were able to get through the day with an 18350 battery. They must smoke a mil a day, because that'll never happen with me. Maybe it's my batteries. I'll buy some new ones soon and find out. But even with my 18650, which is brand new, I will kill this so fast. And my normal running wattage is like 15 to 17 watts. So I am running it up there. But then if I'm using a Cyborg, I'm trying to push farther than 15 watts because, well, my Provari is smaller and it hits 15 watts. So to me, when I'm using this device, I'm going to want to surpass the limitations of my other devices because that's what it does. So in order for me to want to compromise the length, I'm going to be running higher. Now, I will go through 2 18490s and sometimes the 18650 all in one day. Not smoking. I don't sound like I smoke 15 mils a day, guys. I mean, I smoke maybe 8. That's a lot. No, I don't smoke 8 mils a day. There's no way. I might smoke 5, 6 mils a day, the max 6 mils. So to me, it's a battery drainer. I mean, of course, I'm running it high, but still, it drains batteries. Okay, so you have your bottom button with your spring there. Looks like a brass spring. You got your vent hole. All right. Then you've got your all the threads on here are really fine. They're really nice. I can't seem to get them as clean as I'd like. When the mod comes, it is dirty. You have to wash it off. All right. So you got the tube, really nice. Then you got, of course, it's all copper connections in there, and that's where the DNA 20 is housed. You got 2 screws on the screen that's holding the screen in. Doesn't look like any blemishes there. It's pretty nicely done. You've got your control module pad there, landing pad as Phil called it. Got a really nice design going on there. So you've got your up button and your down button and your fire button. I love this. I can just roll onto it and it'll just fire. I don't have to, it's very easy to fire it. I do notice sometimes if I don't keep a firm press on the fire button that it'll stop firing and maybe start firing again in the middle of a vape, which isn't, you know, the worst thing, but I guess you just kind of gotta, maybe it's just mine, I gotta make sure I'm knowing kind of how I'm pressing that button, I guess, like, because sometimes it's just not the same vape. I don't know why. I'm not sure. But anyway, so another thing is, so you've got the power up and power down button. People say they're reversed, but I mean, how can you tell somebody they're reversed if they're not labeled? So that's my thing on that. To me, it's just how they, you know, it's a DNA 20 feature, not a device flaw. So you've got the buttons. Now, they look spot on the same. Oh, and then again, I don't know if somebody else has this, let me know. I mean, I'm sure they've all come with that little scratch there. There's a scratch right there, and that's from the factory. Now this thing's gotten pretty scratched up. It's kind of hard to see. I haven't finished it yet, but alright, so right here you've got your, now watch this. Alright, if I press the up button, it goes up. Oh, that's the down button, sorry. Works very well. I can hit it 1, 2, 3, it just keeps going. Or I can hold it. Now the up button, of course it's working great right now, isn't it? See, I just hit it. I just clicked it, and it's not going up. You kind of have to have a pretty firm press on the up button. The down button's light as heck. But the up button, I've got to, you got to press it more firm. Put more firmness to the press. Now, a lot of people have said that you can't flush mount on this cap because the cap's not adjustable. All right, the cap it's a fixed center pin. It seems to not be adjustable. Now, if I take, just for example, because this is what I've experienced it with, my IGW, and I was to put it on the Pravari, there's a gap. Alright, and I can't change that because this is obviously a fixed center pin also. Now if I was to put it on my Cyborg, alright, there is an even bigger gap actually. But that gap can be removed, okay? If you undo the top cap a little bit, you don't need to show threads. And then you tighten down your addy, and you go like that. So I prefer that over the gap on the addy. I prefer this gap because one, I'm not showing any of my threads, so it doesn't look horrible. But at the same time, I would prefer it to not mess up my 510 connection threads if I was to drop it and, you know, hit the addy. Of course, we're not ever trying to drop our devices, but it happens. I think yesterday, I gave the review on the Fogger V2 yesterday, and I talked about the tank, and then I'm laying there watching TV, and look what happened. So this tank does chip. It still works perfectly fine, but it did definitely chip a little bit. It's a thick bottom part of that tank though. But so anyway, there's nothing more else I can really say about the Cyborg. Ooh, yes there is. The rattle. You hear that? The battery rattles. Okay, so this is a 23mm mod with really thin walls. They could have done without that rattle. They could have made the walls, I mean, I don't have a caliper with me. They could have made them a millimeter thicker and did without that rattle. Maybe they could have given a better spring. But I really think the walls in the battery tube would have solved that. And it would have been an easy thing to do. Very easy. And it would have made that much more secure, because now you see how it says this. If I shake it, it just restarted. Now I did that pretty hard, but you don't see it just did it again. Barely. Now that spring is soft. So the battery, I mean, it doesn't really matter, but it's just what I've noticed, alright? Now the spring is obviously coming down with the battery, disconnecting, and now reconnecting to the board. It's resetting it. So that's another thing I noticed. They could have had a tighter setup in there, and that would have prevented a lot. I don't know what else to tell you about the Cyborg. It's a great PV. It's all I use now. Let me give you a little size comparison of the PV in 18350 mode. You got about an inch difference there. Now, I would say that that is a DNA 20 thing. But I don't want to say that. Why do I not want to say that? I think they have a lot of wasted room in this module. That's another thing. You hear that? That's from the factory too. I don't know if you can hear that. Something's loose in there. The Wizard Evolve came out, and it's a DNA 22 mod, and it's very small. I mean, I haven't seen it in person. I saw some other reviews of it, and it's a small device, so there's room in here to spare, for sure. This mod could have been an inch shorter and much more desirable. It was desirable at the time. It sold out within 4 minutes on both rounds, and you can't really get them right now, except maybe trading. But I would have, I don't know. It would have been nice if it was smaller. It's a huge device, and that's something I'm always told about when I'm in my 18650 mode at work, walking around, vaping. And they're just like, dude, what do you got, a pipe bomb in your hand? I mean, this thing's huge. I mean, it is. So everyone else is using the egos and all that. So, all right. So the Cyborg, I give it a thumbs up. It is a great PV. It works phenomenally. It'll take your sub-ohms all the way up to your 3.3 ohm resistant coils, and it's gonna push them all the way up to 20 watts. Now you put a 3.3 ohm coil in there and you push it up to 20 watts, you're gonna use this for 20 minutes. I'm telling you, it's gonna kill those batteries. So it's a great device, and thanks for watching.